It's Kyle, and I'm here to talk to you about Anchor. Anchor is a hosting platform where you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Best of all, Anchor is completely free. It's what we're actually using to create our podcast. If you're thinking about making your own podcast, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Now, back to the show.
So I mentioned I was listening to the last episode, and you guys talked a lot about disc golf, worms, and groundhogs. And I'm hoping that continues here because we can forget about the disc golf if you want. But you were mentioning Punxsutawney Phil, right?
Yes, he was.
But, yep. And someone said that they had researched about 15 different groundhogs.
That was
Eric, and not once did the illustrious name Wyerton Willie cross your lips.
No.
The groundhog pride of Ontario, Wyerton Willie, who I believe has a better accuracy rate than Punxsutawney. So
that's some shade.
I just want you to know that.
How many Wyerton Willies have there been?
Okay.
Did he die recently?
No. Well, that's not important.
Yeah.
If you
the title, it's the title.
Yeah, they're immortal. Don't worry about it.
Maybe he died in 1999 as well as 2021. I learned about an hour ago, but that's not the important thing here.
The accuracy.
All right, so just so we're clear, Wyerton Willie has the biggest Wikipedia page as far as information goes.
Respect.
About any groundhog.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
That's a disc name right there.
Is that we're bumping him up to at least an honorable mention then, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's number one.
Legends.
He's got my vote.
Legends have been told of the grandness.
Changing perspective, one groundhog at a time.
We're gonna have to just every interview from now on. Who's your favorite groundhog?
Learn them all.
Learn all of the groundhog.
And if they don't know, I mean, we could just kick them off right then.
In case anyone cares too, while we're still on it, he lived to be 22 years old, is what it says.
Holy shit!
It's an old groundhog.
OG Wyerton Willie did not mess around.
Just passed recently, right? Yeah. People were sad. People were legit upset.
I bet. That's a long time.
I believe it. Yeah, well, they've been playing the Punxsutawney Phil one since 1800s. They said he's had the same name, so
he's immortal.
I think the groundhog's out of the hole about if they live past 22.
It's possible. If you've been given the gift of weather prediction, then you get immortality as well.
Oh, they just go hand in hand.
Of course.
Nice. Oh no, Groundhog podcast.
I love it. Now we just have to talk about worms.
Yeah, worms. So earthworms are supposed to be good for the garden, right?
I think so.
Good for I read something a few days ago that said a lot of worms are invasive species.
I've heard that too.
Earthworms, actually, I read, they're not native to North America. They were brought here by settlers in the 1600s.
Now, what kind of settler was like, you know what this place really needs? Some worms.
Well, I think it was tied to their gardening, right? Like a lot of their herbs.
Okay. I think it was John Cabot. I don't know.
Maybe someone came back and was like, we dug some dirt and guess what? There's no worms.
There's just one weird worm guy.
I can't live in this new place if it doesn't feel like home. Bring the worms.
Bring my worms. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you? Really?
Priorities.
They're my friends.
Yeah, crazy things, man. Messed up world.
Fun facts. See, you guys said that you didn't have fun facts.
Yeah, those are
fun facts.
You're dropping facts all over.
Yeah. No,
I thought you meant about us, like random trivia.
No, I'll take anything.
This is what teachers have in their back pocket all the time.
Oh yeah.
Things that only they laugh about. It's perfect.
You want to know everything about rocks and minerals, gentlemen? It's time. It's time.
Sit down and listen.
Welcome to the Rock and Mineral Show.
No, I told my son that I was going on a podcast, and he was very excited. And he didn't quite. Once I said meeting, he had a better
how old is he?
understanding. He's 5.
Yeah,
He's
can't
5.
listen to this.
Yeah, he's like, but he said, "Is Paul Macbeth going to be there?" And I'm like, no.
Tell him yes.
In spirit, he's going to be here.
I mean, it's not like he can listen to it.
I need to reschedule the meeting for tomorrow, guys. So we're just going to have to scrap this because my 5-year-old kid wants to be here. So.
Oh. Yeah. No.
Oh, no. We don't really have to.
Welcome to the Oh No Disc Golf Podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome to the craziness. This is a entire interview-based show. Today, we have our friends, new friends, from over at Wolfcat Discs on Instagram. We have Jay and Nick.
Hello.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. You have a tangent, or what's going on there?
Nope, I think the 8 minutes about groundhogs and worms.
About the yeah.
I think that got all my stuff out.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't need a tangent because the groundhogs were the tangent.
So we touched a little bit about that you know everything about rocks and minerals, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So Wolfcat Discs, we're primarily an new online disc golf brand. We try to do a couple different things right now. We try to make people laugh with something we call our take on memes, like a multi-image meme carousel. We try to make people learn with Course of the Week, which we were able to have you guys be a part of and collab and share prickly pines with everybody out there. And lately we've been creating something we call a form shadow. So we're kind of helping to see people see form in a new way. People have been taking it and really enjoying it. So that's kind of what we've been doing. In addition to selling discs, trying to get people in Durham region, especially in and around Toronto, to get access to some discs because there's not too many brick and mortar shops around us. But yeah, that's what Wolfcat's about right now.
Yeah, I really enjoy the take on memes, just not only because they use some of my favorite movies, but they're not memes that I feel like most of them nowadays, they're like picking fun at like one group or somebody, and it's nice for them to just kind of be a mostly positive, funny meme. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, they kind of came out of accident. If you look through our earlier parts of our feedback, we definitely were partaking in more of the single memes, and getting our feet wet in the disc golf online culture. And the meme game is pretty strong in disc golf. And we eventually, we ended up, the first one was Varsity Blues. We wanted to make something with that, that great last line of I don't want your life. And we just felt it needed a little bit more than one cell. And before you know, we made something pretty stupid that I flipped over to Nick, and it was we both kind of laughed at it. And before you know it, now we're into bigger movies and actually I think making some art that people are enjoying, and it's definitely different than what other people are seeing in the meme culture.
I fucking love it. It's a new take on memes.
Yeah. Which ones do you like the most?
The Cool Runnings one, I think, and then I had it just up a little bit ago. Oh, I've been meaning to say we want a Wayne's World one soon. Or did you do the disc rack?
We did a disc rack, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I remember that one now, right after I said it.
Yeah. But Cool Runnings is Nick's. That's your favorite movie of all time, I think, right?
Favorite movie, yeah. It's the only movie that can consistently make me cry. At the end when they're carrying the sled, I don't know what happens to me.
That's great. Oh yeah, it was a funny one.
Me and my brother used to quote the "Cinca, you dead man" more than any other quote for like the longest time.
You know what's funny is Nick found his handle and we tagged him, and he actually he liked that post, so he has seen that version
Yeah.
of that meme carousel. Kind of made our day.
The Hangover one is my other favorite.
Yeah, with the
Disc satchel.
the satchel. Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, man, it's hard to know where these, like, we make them some, like, there are real goals. If it makes us laugh, then we're gonna put it out there. And it's funny, like, you see a reaction online, but you don't. Sometimes you forget that there are actual people that are seeing these things, and how they take it and how they impact it.
100%.
It's also like you wonder, because it's not as if that these are just put together in 30 minutes. It takes a long time, and it's like you're really leaning on one idea, and if it flops, like that, it's hours of work for nothing. So it's a lot of fun, and like Jay said, if we both are laughing at it, then we might as well put it out there.
Yeah. And we do the same thing. If we don't laugh when we're making something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's happened yet, but yeah.
It's a good litmus test to see if at least it's bringing joy and value to your life, then it's worth sharing, I think,
Yeah, absolutely.
So the memes are definitely like a 2-person job, at least.
Yeah, it's funny. I'd say, like, some ideas straight from Nick, some ideas straight from me, others are a combination of the two. I'd say, like, the next one that we're going to release this week was definitely probably the most of the collaborative. It was Nick's original idea, and I added a little element to it that kind of really rounded it out. So you'll see, I think we've both said I think it's going to be the best that we've done so far.
It's going to be the best one. We've laughed a lot because of it. So,
man, I'm gonna have to start keeping out now that I we'll get to know you guys a little bit better. If I can figure out whose is who, like who makes what.
Yeah. Well,
jokes.
To be fair, Jay is definitely our social media leader, and he does most of the work for sure. But so he's definitely, most of the laughs are coming at from Jay's fingertips on the computer there. So,
gotcha. Well, it was a lot about a necessity. We in addition to doing all this, like, the first thing we wanted to do with Wolfcat was to sell discs, right? And that was the easiest. It's the most straightforward business model in disc golf, is to get your hands and to move discs, right? And so all the online stuff really was just to kind of build a brand and gain awareness, like, because we don't have a brick and mortar shop, and there are countless other online realtors out there. Like, the game has exploded, obviously, in America. We know this, and it's happening in Canada too, but it's nowhere near. Like, we are still probably like 20 years ago in disc golf up here. It's definitely growing, but it's rare to see stores.
So, like, how far would you have to travel if you wanted to go to a brick and mortar store? Is it like down in Toronto, or not even there?
There are stores that have discs.
Okay,
so
there's no disc golf store.
Stores are starting to pop up right now, but they're, they sell discs at a surf shop, and they sell discs at. Do you guys have Play It Again Sports?
We do.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one, in the only other place in Whitby, I'll mention, that you can get discs other than us, is Play It Again Sports, and they had a rack with about 20 different discs. And I was in one day, and I said, I was just asking questions because I was so excited, and I said, are you getting any of this plastic in, or are you getting any Discraft? And they looked at me like I was some sort of genius, understanding all the different plastics, and they asked me to send them more information about preferred plastics that people would buy. And so the only place you could get it in my town didn't understand.
They literally didn't even know what they had.
Exactly. So and this was before Wolfcat Disc, this was kind of a precursor to it. I went home, and I was so excited. I felt like this really important person who I had this very important position to work on. And I wrote up that you shouldn't just get DX plastic. You should also get Champion and Star, and you need Discraft as well as MVP and all that. And so, like, I had this place at Play It Again Sports where I wasn't paid. I didn't get a discount for a single disc, but it made me feel really nice to actually have this opportunity to work with them. And so where do we get discs in town? Either the 20 discs at Play It Again Sports or the 200 that are behind me right now.
Hey.
Or you see the like convenience stores sometimes near the courses, right? Like there's one by ETC in Toronto, but
And Toronto, better options for sure.
yeah, but like it's not as accessible as in the States, you know. So
For sure.
the boom has happened, but it's not even close. I think it's really gonna, when Canadians really get more exposed to it, I think the Canadian mannerisms of, you know, playing in all weather is really going to speak to disc golf.
Yeah.
So there's not many stores, but what are courses like around you guys?
So they're popping up. I'll speak to up where I am here. There's probably 3 or 4 courses within a 30-minute drive that are really nice, really well maintained, and have active clubs. But outside of the clubs, there's really not too many people using them. But in Toronto, Nick can speak to that more because he's down there more, but there's a lot more popping up.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like us. There are online sales stores in Toronto, and they're popping up around the courses. And there's this really great pair of course creators, and they're Chain Link Disc Golf. And they've opened, I think, 4 courses in the last calendar year, and they have more coming right now. So we're literally in the middle of the boom. Like it's not stopping.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And, yeah, we just Chainlink Disc Golf just had the Toronto Open a few weeks ago, and they had 200 players, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal around here. And they gave away these amazing discs. And I have this one. You guys were talking about the FD last week.
Yes.
And one of the giveaways was the FD, and I love it. So it's like things are really starting to take off right now. It's a very, very cool moment. I don't know if it's the same as in Michigan and Colorado. It's probably very established, but right now it's just we often relate disc golf around here to Bitcoin, as in it's this emerging market that people don't completely understand, and it's really new, and it's in its infancy. But once people start understanding it, it might catch on big time. So it seems to be really early in the game for disc golf in Canada, but it's about to explode.
It really didn't, for a lot of people, I don't think, click until like the pros were making now millions in their contracts. That for some reason, like when you say that to like just a random person who doesn't even know what disc golf is, that just like clicks in their head. Like, oh, the pros are making money. That makes sense. It's a real sport.
I think when you're trying to pitch it to municipalities too and use public spaces, you know, you can pull bigger, and when the numbers are bigger, it might lead them to realize that it's more advantageous for them to do it. And I think it's also the kind of like, look what the other cities and towns are doing. And once others are doing it, everyone's kind of like, we need to get our disc golf course too. So I can foresee in the next 5 years out here, like every town or village has at least 6 baskets that people can get to.
I hope so. I do hope so.
One of the creators from Chainlink has said to me a couple times, it would have been foolish for ski hills not to allow snowboards to join. So around here, a lot of golf courses are finally allowing baskets on the course, and we might just be able to play in the winter, but they're really starting to integrate the second place to gain revenue through disc golf. And so it's not just like Jay said, the municipalities, it's booming in municipality parks. It's booming on golf courses. It's really starting. It's very exciting. It's a really good time to start a disc golf business, we think.
Right there with you.
Well, you guys started in 2021, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are we like approaching the year anniversary, or did we already pass it?
When was it? Nick, you first shared your slideshow presentation with me end of August.
Yeah.
Right? And our Instagram went live September 23rd. So we're probably maybe only like, our Instagram's only live maybe 6 months now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's and I'd say even just in the 6 months, like the first 3 months up to December was very different than the last 3 months. Like we had for all the series we do. I think Course of the Week was pretty established right from the start, but like our meme carousels really got a little more traction, and we felt like we knew we were doing a little more with when we when we covered Ricky's move from Innova to Dynamic Discs, and then made one about his Bitcoin, actually his bonus. But it was through that we actually made the first Form Shadow, which has totally taken Wolfcat in a very different direction. Like the first Form Shadow really was only made January 5th or 6th. And to see what's happened with that and how the response of the community has been amazing. It's only been like 3 months of that. So it's all really new.
Seen you guys got a shout out or an article on Altiworld about the Form Shadow.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, Charlie Eisenhood, he reached out, just looked in our Reddit one day, and there was a message from Charlie Eisenhood saying, we'd like to talk to you about your Form Shadows. So we had emails back and forth, and sent him off a draft of some ideas. Basically, I didn't know what he was looking for, so we kind of sent him a bit of everything, and he basically just took what we gave him and edited it, made it sound a little nicer, and then just posted it. So that has been amazing for exposure. He genuinely just said he wanted to help us share the project to more people.
I think it's awesome. It's easier to like pay attention to when like watching slow-mo videos over and over again, because you can just pick out like the spot where you feel like you're messing up, and then you have like a clear picture in your mind of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and I feel like we've shared it through Facebook form check groups and through Reddit, and I think where it varies and makes it where it's maybe a little stronger than a video is for online discussion. So we made a subreddit specifically for Form Shadow where we were releasing kind of like a mechanics view where they were all spaced out and numbered because people were wanted to discuss them, but they were having difficulty being like, the 10th image on the left. Like, so I think from an online discussion piece, you can have a discussion a little easier because you can all talk about the same thing as opposed to being like, check back at 37-second mark or the third, you have it all in front of you. So that's really what we found. That's how people were using it, right? And to be honest, that was never even the real intention. Like we wanted to make something to just capture the whole shape of a form of a drive sequence in one image. And then the disc golf community has used it in a very different way.
Who came up with that wonderful idea?
So I was messing around with something for, like I said, for Ricky Iwasaki for his Bitcoin, and I put the first ones together, overlaid it, and I sent Nick a text. And I think it was something like, I don't know what I made yet. I don't even know what this is because I didn't at the time. I just knew it was cool. I knew it looked cool, and I liked it. And then Nick liked it, and so I think in its beginning, because we didn't even know what it was going to be. And I don't even think we still do fully. It's been kind of fun to be a part of it and just see like how people are taking it, using it.
I think that'll kind of guide what it becomes, really.
I don't know, what is podcasting? Is it the bronze screen? Like, it's not the silver screen.
It's the Groundhog screen.
Actually, perfect. That's what I was built for. But the Form Shadows are really, really, like we were just mentioning, they're growing in a different way. And Jay made this thing that didn't mean anything, and just it's as if by constructing it and doing it in the same way every time, it does have meaning now. And now Jay's reaching out to pros, and pros are getting back to us and saying, yes, we will send you this video, and they have been. And it's not just Jay finding videos from Jomez Pro like it was at the start. Now pros are sending videos to us to make them for them. So it's really exciting stuff.
For now, it's really, I think my favorite part of it is like it allows us to make meaningful connections. Because we've connected with some pros like Scott Stokely. They're just, as Nick said, you shoot your shot, right? Like you just reached out to him. He was super supportive. He sent us a video right away. He's been such a great feeling to feel like a pro like that is liking what you're doing. But even the non-pros, like just connecting with other people who like them. And that's really where we're at right now with them, is until we really know what we want to do with them and what they are, we just want to make them for people who want them, right? Because that's like, I enjoy making them. They're fun to make. I don't know what they're gonna always look like until they're done, because everyone's form is pretty different. They all hit the same marks, but they're all very unique. So it's been such a good tool to connect with other people.
Yeah, and it's not as if that this particular form shadow, and you'll have to speak to this, Jay. It's not as if the form shadow improved the player's game, but Jay, didn't you make a form shadow and post it one day, and the person had a tournament? Can you explain that story?
Someone left a comment saying, I saw their drive sequence. I think they were looking at Thomas Gilbert's, and in his particular one, he's shooting almost a roller, but a strong Anheuser, and he starts really low and goes really high, and finishes really high. And the guy saw his shape in that way, and he said he implemented it and saw success. Like whether it was great fundamentals or not, somebody saw something we did and then implemented it right away and felt success. And that felt like, you guys know, you connect with people online and it's great, but like I said, we sometimes forget that there are people on the other end, and to like know you've made a meaningful connection is like it's the best part of what we've been doing so far.
Oh yeah, true story. Yeah, talking to other people is the best.
Yeah, leveraging online interactions to actually have physical interactions, it's so great.
That's how we've made a bunch of friends so far.
Well, we hope they like us anyway.
I mean, yeah.
You I don't know. You said at the start that we were your new friends, and we're still trying to figure that one out. So,
well,
okay, that's fair. That's fair. You don't just want to make friends with everybody you meet online. So
that's true. A lot of creepy gophers out there.
You guys mentioned it's online only. Is there any hopes to kind of open up a storefront in your area, like for Wolfcat, or not really worried about it? Not even on the radar yet.
We've had ideas. We have big ideas, but just like we don't know what Wolfcat is, we don't know what Form Shadow is. We don't know what the future is either. Like it's not like we're playing a game where we don't have any direction, but we're not positive what the next few steps are. Like we know where we're going right now, and we have big ideas later, but how we get anywhere, it's a mystery. And let's say a course opens up right across the street from me. That's gonna change everything if there are more people playing disc golf in our very close vicinity. So we don't exactly know. It's exciting. Whatever is happening with us right now, it's like Jay said, we've only been open for like half a year, and we're already on this podcast, and Ultiworld already made an article for us, and and pros, legitimate disc golf pros, are sending videos to us. So we don't know exactly where we're going next, but we know it's going to be something pretty great.
Yeah, you guys definitely are on a good track.
For sure. And you already know that it's like, as long as you're enjoying it, you'll enjoy it anyway. Like the people will probably enjoy it too. And that's the best part about it. But if you're enjoying it, that's the most important part.
And we're both really realistic, one of the things we always say is we don't want this to be stressful. The second it really is stressful, it's kind of outside of what we started this for. And we both have young kids and families. And the second that you try to move faster than what you're physically capable of, that's when then you're balancing up against other obligations, and we don't want to sacrifice the things that really matter for this project. Like Nick is teaching every day, driving back and forth, family thing. Like usually when we talk, it's 9:30, put in maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at night, incremental steps, right? Like if we can keep just chipping away at it, then we can go places. If we each had 2 weeks to be able to work 40 hours and get stuff done, we maybe go a lot faster. But I think it's being realistic so that we don't lose our minds, because that's easy to do in this world.
Yeah, and it's also really important to stay fresh. We found this mentor, my wife's uncle. He's a very big time businessman, and he said to us once when we were talking with him, he said, "What got you here isn't going to get you there." So we've got here with Form Shadows, with the meme carousels, with Course of the Week, with interactions online, but we don't know what's going to take us to the next place, and that's very exciting. And yeah, it's just has to be fun. We have to enjoy it, or else it's not worth it. We can, if we wanted to right now, we could just shut it all down and just play disc golf whenever we want. But we're having a lot of fun doing this right now, and it feels good. It feels really good.
Good to hear.
That's a nice nugget of wisdom, though. What got you here won't get you there is something. I mean, it can honestly relate to almost anything in life. So
For sure.
And it doesn't mean like throw out the foundations of what you've done, but
oh yeah, mm-hmm.
to always be thinking about how can you what's the next thing we can do. And also, like, realistically for us, we really try to manage our expectations, because we also know how kind of crazy it is to start a disc golf company in Canada. I mean, we're reaching more than just Canada, but to do it in Canada over the winter, try to impact a market that it doesn't have a huge supply of people playing it, especially not in the dead of Canadian winter.
Right. In its dormancy.
Yeah. So what we're really looking forward to is our first like real full season. We haven't even had a summer to get out and to actually meet people and to do the physical interacting, like both as educators. Like, I know out here, my plan is to literally post in a Facebook group in a couple of small villages that I'm just going to bring a basket to a local park, because all these places have, fairgrounds and whatnot, idle public spaces that are not being used, and say I'm going to bring a bag full of discs, and if anybody wants to come out and learn how to play disc golf or just play one for the first time, come on out. So that type of being able to actually like leverage what we're doing to meet people and hopefully make change by getting more courses put into small places would be great, because we always talk about the accessibility of disc golf. We see it all the time, how it's very accessible. It can be really accessible for financially, you only need 10, $15 for a disc, but you can't get to a course or a field. Not everybody has a car, not everybody has public access to public transportation. It's not as accessible as you think. So if we could get more, even just pitch and putt small courses around more people, I think ultimately it's better for everyone, right? Like,
true story.
The mental health aspects of disc golf are too good.
Huge.
I always felt like places that were trying to keep like funding low for disc golf courses should go back to the old like object course, like a 4x4 on the ground pole. and yeah, tone pole on the top is. If like people are like, oh well, I don't know how much it is going to be for a basket, but yeah, like I've talked to people before, and I said, like 3 fun holes to play is better than like 9, not fun holes to play. But anything's better than nothing, I guess. So
for sure.
If you can get you get people into it, like the biggest obstacles I think for beginners, obviously, and I'm by no means more than a scratch player these days, but if you can play a course where you're not going to lose a disc, I think that's a really frustrating part about beginning disc golf sometimes, is you play a course that's so well established and there's a lot of hazards and you end up losing a couple of discs as you play. When you're first starting, you just have a basket in an open field. You have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that's where I kind of started, but
yep, I started by throwing them at Eric.
So was there any special meaning behind the name Wolfcat, or you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of a child in a lot of ways. And my son, I mentioned him before, he's 5 years old. I wanted to name him Wolf. And my wife thought more rationally, and we chose a different name for him. But I always called him the Wolf Man. And so he's Wolf. And my daughter, her name is Mira. So I wanted to name her, I think I wanted to name her Raven. And so Wolf and Raven, I didn't want on either one of those, but I still think they're good names. So Mira is Meerkat. So Wolfman, Meerkat, Wolfcat. It just kind of fell together. And it works because there aren't too many wolf cats out there. You can look online and you might find a wolf cat or two, but I think it's pretty much ours, and it's I don't know, it's a pretty cool thing. Jay put together the logo, looks awesome, and yeah, it works.
Yeah, I mean, if there is wolf cats out there, I don't think it has anything to do with disc golf. So it's definitely like a good way to stamp your name on the industry.
Yeah. Yes.
And you should when your kid turns 18, be like, hey, change your name to Wolf.
Maybe. Yeah, man.
Start that early. Just like whisper, just be like, your name is Wolf.
I was going to name you Wolf.
Change it when you can.
Yeah, or just signature.
No, it's very cool. I'm happy.
It's a sick name.
Hudson's still a great name. Great name.
Yeah, it's still a good name. It's not Wolf though.
Not Wolf.
Fuck, dude, Wolf.
I did have middle name rights, so his name could have been Hudson Wolf, but we honored the grandfathers. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
good choice.
I was gonna say wasted choice, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Wolf it is.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I like that there's actually a cool little story behind the name.
Yeah, it's fun.
Eric, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you ready?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading through because I feel like we've kind of like half touched base on a lot of them. So.
Right. Kinda.
So I was just trying to figure out where the best place to go to next. But
true story. I'm gonna try and figure out this question because it's gonna be difficult to even figure out how to ask it. Because, and this is why, the question is there something that surprised you about your industry? But you've been talking about this whole time about like you don't really know what industry you quite are. So take that however you want.
Yeah, I think I don't know, we kind of, it's funny, at times we kind of thought we would feel like we were at a party that we weren't invited to, showing up trying to be like, hey, how's it going? Wolfcat here. But I think it was the exact opposite. I think something that surprised us in a really positive way is just like the genuine welcomingness of the disc golf community at large across every medium that we've shared or interacted with people. Like, I mean, and you guys are a case in point. If you look back at our very first post, just our logo, you Oh No Disc Golf is one of, I think, the 18 people to actually like that post. So like the welcoming spirit that we have felt from everybody, whether people we know to people we now feel like we know because we've interacted with them so many times, it's been amazing. So it's, and I guess that is the feeling that you feel on the disc golf course. At least that's what we feel out here, like seeing other people and being a part of it. It's such a welcoming environment. It's such a painfully challenging pastime that you get to share with people. Sometimes you commiserate with them and they're playing the same exact game, and your best is their worst and they have to feel what you do. But that to me, I think has been one of the biggest surprises and positive surprises, is how amazing the disc golf community has been.
Yeah. And you'll like not everyone is a bar of gold. You're not gonna get lucky sevens with every person, but overall, it's just been such a positive experience. That said, though, it might just look like we're making memes and we're selling discs, but you still need to have distributors, and we need to talk with merch companies and the bank, and we need an accountant and mentors, and we need shipping and packaging. And it's so much more than just what people see on Instagram. And so it's, going out and talking with people on the course or doing this nice experience with you fine gentlemen. It's so great and so much fun, but there's a lot to it. So whatever our industry is, or whatever our next direction is, or we continue with all of our great stuff now, it's so much. I imagine you guys feel the same way. There's so much other stuff than what you put out.
Oh yeah. Big time. But yeah, I think it's all worth it is really what it comes down to. And it's that same thing again. It's like, well, we enjoy it. So either way, what other people, if other people enjoy it, that's a bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is being genuine and authentic, right? Like if you are genuinely trying to create something from a good place and bring value to somebody else's space, like then you're going to find the right people. And if people don't like it, then that's kind of the beauty of the platforms that we've chosen, like using Instagram. It's like, if you don't like it, what we've done, then you don't have to follow us.
Right.
Like,
go follow somebody else.
Go follow somebody else. That's cool.
Right.
And that's kind of a nice approach to take. And it's the incremental gains that, again, kind of out of necessity, because we can only squeeze in an hour and a half, 2 hours in the evening after, the kids are in bed and the dishes are done. Where do we want to put our energy? And if we just keep putting things out there, then eventually this stuff will get better if we listen to the responses. And eventually the people who like what we're doing are going to keep following us and be a part of what we want to do here. And they take the value, and if a couple of people laugh at a meme we've made, awesome. And if they take it on their next road trip to go play that course that they didn't even know existed before we shared something, even better. And if you found just by looking at a form shadow we've made, that exact moment that you feel you're doing something the same or different, and it helps you in some way, then even better. So I think that's the approach to take. And it sounds like you guys are on the same path too.
I love it. And also, I just wanted to shout out one of our best followers. I'll just shout out Revel real quick. Revel Disc Golf. You're the best.
Oh, he's T-Rex now.
Did he change it?
His name. Yeah, he's making a big announcement, so I don't know anything about it, but he's no longer Revel Disc Golf.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. You were talking about you get to know people from your interactions. We've never met this person, but I feel like I know him. I don't know how, but
it's amazing. It's not the exact same as physical face-to-face interactions, but there's some level of it. And I think that if you, especially for your medium, people feel more attached to you because they hear your voice. And I think they hear the nuances and they get to know you more. If you look at the collection of your 60 odd episodes, people are going to get a pretty good sense of you,
True story. Yeah. We're not doing characters here.
Yeah.
No, wait.
That'd be way too much work.
You're a closet man if that's the case, I guess, right?
I felt like I learned a lot about you guys just your conversation about centaurs in the last episode. Really revealed
about that. I completely forgot about the centaurs.
Yeah, the centaur talk.
Personally, I think they would be very strong because they could have a James Conrad type run up, no big deal.
Yeah, but how do they transfer that energy?
I mean, they can go up on.
Horses whip their head, right?
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen horses fight? It's a lot of head motions. Have you ever seen giraffes fight?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Giraffe fights.
Yeah. It's a lot of neck, right? It's
What about a giraffe kind of centaur?
Oh my.
That poor guy at the top of that giraffe.
That'd be fucking crazy.
All alone.
All alone.
Looking down on the world.
So is it just a really long man then?
I don't know.
The same place
I was thinking his
does?
torso could be really long, or that could be his neck.
Just his neck.
Just his neck, and his head's
Have you guys ever heard the question where would if a giraffe wore a tie, where would it be?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think around
if I
by
was
its
a
body.
giraffe, I would want really long shirts, so I would wear it up around my neck, the top of my neck, not my
turtleneck.
See, I'd wear it down at the base.
Yeah, I think I'd be a base.
I guess it depends on who's putting the tie on.
Can't be the giraffe.
Oh my.
Yeah.
With the hooves, is this a bow tie? Are we tying a bow tie here?
But if it's a centaur.
Then they're fair game. It's a clip on.
Well, they can't wear a tie when they're playing disc golf, so.
Giraffe centaur clip-ons. All right, we're going to have a new product coming next week, guys.
I'll have a giraffe form shadow ready to go.
There you go.
scalloping, majestic hair flowing in the breeze.
Write that down.
It's the hair. I'm already working on it.
Double multitasking here.
Check. We got the source video. We're set.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone, guys. Shh.
Well, let's get this question out of the way. What is your biggest oh no moment that's disc golf related?
Jay, you want to go for that one?
Sometimes
Sure.
they're really sad stories. So
Yeah, we've had some like bummers.
we had like AJ Risley where he lost Ledgestone in like 2 holes. So that was pretty rough to listen to.
Yeah.
I think it's a repeating one for me. My home course is up in South River. It's about 25 minutes from here, and they are famously known for their hole 4. So it's right on a lake, and it overlooks Algonquin Park, which is a big provincial park here. And hole 4 is the water hole. So your shot is dangling out over the lake and has to make its way back to a hanging basket on a steep hill. So I think every time I finish the third hole and I'm walking to the 4th hole, I'm thinking, oh no. And sometimes it goes okay, but sometimes there are many of my discs at the bottom of that lake.
Yeah, mine too.
Ooh.
Yeah, great hole, but it's like a reoccurring nightmare, you know. Actually, the first 3-4 times I think I played that course, I didn't even shoot that hole because I didn't have enough discs to lose.
It doesn't sound fun.
No, literally, oh no, every time. But although now I'd say things feel better. But yeah, it's the wind off that hole too. Beautiful hole, but yeah, oh no,
Definitely a pretty hole. For me, my oh no is when I first started. I wanted those big flight numbers. Like I wanted that number 12. Like give me a destroyer, give me that Wraith, and they're gone now. So I remember there's this
They're on the 4th hole.
Yeah, no, there's this really great course in Toronto. It's one of the, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd oldest course in Canada. It's at Centennial Park, and they have this pond. And I was playing, and I was alone, and it was only probably a few months into playing, and of course I had both the Wraith and the Destroyer on me, and I threw the first off the tee, probably threw it like 100 feet. And then I noticed that there was a group of people behind me. So I rushed because I was embarrassed because I had this nice disc golf bag that could hold 20 discs. And I had these really great discs. And I threw right away, threw my Destroyer in the lake, and then was so embarrassed. I whipped out my Wraith, threw the Wraith right in the same pond lake thing, and just grabbed a third one and thank the disc gods that one didn't go in, and I just scampered off and I played the next 2 holes so quickly, so I did not need to make eye contact with these people. And it's so foolish. That's such a foolish thing to be nervous because of the people behind you, because they're just doing the same thing you are, and they're probably not much better than you, no matter how good or bad you are. And I've probably embarrassingly thrown away a disc or 2 after that as well, but oh no.
That's hilarious. I love that story. Same. I get very in my head about like what other people are thinking sometimes, just when I'm playing sports. Yeah. Not in real life ever. Never think about what other people are thinking. But sports, oh my gosh.
Of course. You missed that shot. You didn't make that pass. Why not? And
like they're gonna laugh at me.
Yeah. But in terms of Wolfcat, oh no for Wolfcat, and you guys mentioned you mentioned this last week as well about picking the songs for your reels, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you work so hard on a reel or you work so hard on a post and you think it's going to go viral. It's going to be the best thing ever, and it just flops. And maybe it's because you didn't click that thing or because you chose the wrong music or whatever. But I think an oh no moment for me, for Wolfcat, is just becoming too attached to something that I don't need to feel married to. It's just a post. And sometimes you get emotional with certain posts and whatever, but I think I'm getting better at that. And I think Jay mentioned that when he was first starting, he felt committed, or I don't know if you want to explain, Jay, like how you felt about earlier posts, and now you have this release of something now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a form of creation, at least for a lot of the content we're making, and especially as you mentioned earlier, Nick, about putting time into meme carousels. Like some of them happen really quickly, and some of them take a little bit of time. And meme culture is, some of them are good and some of them are bad. It's like any form of art, let's say. And not to say that we're artists, but some of the things.
No, you're an artist. Memes are art.
Yeah, I feel that way too, right? And especially for ones like Meme Carousel, where we're really, a lot of them, we're working with 10 frames because that's what you get on Instagram. So try to tell the story in 10 frames and putting your energy into something. It's like any form of art. You're showing yourself in some way. And for sure, in the initial stages, when you're trying to grow an audience and trying to validate your content based on, numbers, sometimes you never know what you're going to get. So yeah, it gets easier though, is what I've told Nick, especially because after a while you just post it and you forget about it. Off you go, on to the next one. And you come back later and sometimes they're hits and sometimes they're misses, but I always try to find that one little nugget, one person who commented or one person who did this. And it's like, all right, that one was for you, on to the next.
I always feel like one comment is worth like 100 likes. Like if one person just says something to me, it's a million times better than all the likes I could get.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, you put yourself out there, and you guys feel it too. When it's a podcast, you guys are really showing yourself and your voice, right? Like, how did you feel after your first episode was released to the world?
I was a little embarrassed because it wasn't supposed to be the first episode.
Agreed, yeah.
After that, it got no big deal, but the first episode was supposed to be a preliminary, just trying it out, and then we decided to release it anyway.
And it was obviously a good choice because you got it here.
It was fun, and it was, you could tell we were trying our best, but it was definitely not good, and having fun with it,
Yeah.
But I was nervous for sure.
Yeah. There's an expectation sometimes that everything has to be perfect the first time, and that's just like not how it works. And I think disc golf is a perfect metaphor for that. Like, you can watch other people throw. When you grab that disc the first time and you try to throw it like something you've thrown before, it's just not going to work that way.
We had low expectations off the bat too. I mean, we were like, if one other person besides Eric Moms listens, we're good.
Yeah, you milk your friends and family as much as possible in the initial stages.
So I've asked before about, do you have any like long-term goals, but do you have any like short-term goals, like as far as even like, in the next month or so, or just, letting yourself play it out?
We've got, as Nick said previously, we have connected with a lot of people specifically for Form Shadows, and waiting back on them to receive some videos will kind of dictate where that part of Wolfcat will go. And really playing and getting out, like when Nick and I went down to Toronto for the Toronto Open and actually got to interact with some people that we've met online, and actually played a couple of rounds with, shout out to Zach, who we got connected through, the Trash Panda disc swap. I don't know if you guys were part of that, did that in the holidays, but
I know about it, but I didn't participate.
Yeah, I talked with Jesse about it, but I wasn't able to actually do it.
Yeah, so I was able to, I caught it at the right time and threw my name in there, and the guy who I got discs from was Zach, and it's funny enough, like literally a week prior, we had connected on Instagram before that. So once the discs arrived, I remember hopping back on and being like, "What's the likelihood that you sent JD Auger some discs for disc swap?" And so we actually were able to play our 2 rounds of Toronto Open with him. So we have another couple tournaments coming up. Not that we're aiming to win by any stretch of the imagination, but we are hoping to start to, meet people and go to a tournament and meet people that either know us or don't know us yet. So I think in the next month or 2, that really is our real focus, is finally getting to do what we've wanted to do. Again, with starting a disc golf company in the dead of winter in Canada.
Right. Yeah. This is your first season. So now you've established some connections within the community. You feel more a part of the community.
Yeah.
And
we have a sense, kind of a bit more of a sense of like what Wolfcat is, like we had ideas of what we wanted it to be, but for example, again, with the meme carousel and with Form Shadow, those were not on our roadmaps at the very beginning because we just hadn't even created them yet. So it's been very much kind of sit back and keep the reiterative process. But now we get to actually do what we originally wanted to do, which was start to get out, bring baskets to parks and get more people into disc golf, specifically youth out here, double down on our background in education. Not everybody can work with kids. And we feel that both of us are really well suited for that. So we're really excited to get out and get more discs in more people's hands.
Hell yeah. Love that.
You guys are going to document that all on Instagram so we can check it out, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that we missed with I know I asked about courses in your area and shops in your area. Is there anything else we missed about disc golf in your area?
Well, if we're talking about disc golf as a community, there are probably courses we've never played. Maybe they don't show up on UDisc, or shops that we've never been to that I certainly wouldn't want to say there are no shops in Toronto if there are some. Because if you look at the UDisc map from right now compared to 1 year ago, there's so much, there's a mess of stuff all over Toronto, and it's kind of growing out. So I just want to say, I want to agree with Jay about how great the community has been to us. And like, it's just, I'm having a blast. And this is, we kind of consider this, I don't know if we consider this work or pleasure or a mixture of both, but like we're doing something that we're passionate about and we're having fun. We've been friends for 20 years now, Jay. And like, it's great. It's like, things are just really great.
Yeah. And I think in terms of the disc golf scene out here, I think there are more baskets going into the ground now than ever, and championship level courses that are starting to be established. Like I know in the Muskokas up here, there's a course that's been rumored and they're releasing little bits here and there. And I know there are so many private courses that I really feel like, we talk about one of the best parts about disc golf is the location, right? The location and the course really define the experience. You go play in the desert, you go play anywhere. The ruggedness of the Canadian Shield in Ontario is beautiful, and to be honest, the first thing Nick said when he brought this idea forward was that the goal of Wolfcat eventually would be able to buy, the ultimate dream is buy 50, 60 acres and to build a couple of courses, have some lodging areas, lots of cross-country skis, and build a space that people can go. And that showcases the beauty of the Ontario landscape. And I think we're starting to see that, especially this summer. I think this is going to be a big summer for even more courses and more cities that are they're all jumping on board. So there's a lot happening. I think this year in particular here is going to be probably the biggest going.
It's a good year to be getting a disc golf company started then, huh?
It really does feel like it's been just everything has fallen in line. And at the end of the day, like as Nick said, it's like if you're doing what you love, then it doesn't feel like work. And if we could eventually find a way that this becomes a real permanent full-time job and that is what we do for an income, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Eric and I have never had that discussion. So
we don't make.
Well, I said to Nick, at worst, we have a couple hundred discs each that are just sitting there. We'll never have to buy another disc out. So,
right.
We have all the MVP envies you could want. They're on sale right now. Check them out, everybody.
Just for the month.
Yeah, got a promo code for the people that are going to go check it out.
Oh, geez, should have thought of that.
I'm just fucking with you.
We'll drop one when this episode goes live. We'll have a special Oh No promo code.
Sounds good. What does disc golf mean to you?
So, this last summer was probably I would say for sure the summer that I really got into it. You know, Nick and I had played off and on several times throughout the years, but just never had access to it. Didn't have a car at the time. There was no courses around us. It just, you know, sometimes it's got to hit you. Everybody, I truly believe that there are two types of people in the world: those who love disc golf and those who do not yet know that they love disc golf. And it hits everybody at a different time. So I'd say this last summer, it really just aligned as a moment for me. When my wife was working remotely, working at home, but I was caring for my my oldest son. He was about 2 during the summer, and he would nap for about 2 hours. He was down in one nap and down to about 2 hour nap. And that was enough time for me to drive to my local course and play around. I could get around in about 50 minutes, and it was about 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back. So I was able to play probably 4 or 5 times. And for me, what disc golf meant in that time, like the mental health benefits, the quiet time, the personal challenge, the challenging yourself to a new skill, all of that was really what spoke to me about disc golf and kind of got me what I needed at this point. And you know, like the score is great, but for me, it's been all the things that don't find its way onto the scorecard that I love most about disc golf.
Wonderfully put.
Pretty good answer.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good luck following that one up. Nick, your turn.
Oh man.
Sorry, Nick.
Wait. What does disc golf mean to me? I guess a lot of what Jay said. You just get to leave things behind, and if you're going to do well on the disc golf course, you really have to be both focused and unfocused at the same time. It seems like you need to remember all of those things that you've been practicing and all those things you watched in the YouTube videos, and you also just need to clear your mind. And if you're doing all of that, you can forget about the things that are troubling you off of the course, and just getting to be in nature and being surrounded by trees or being in that field, playing alone, playing with friends, like just becoming better at something. Like the hyzer flip. How hard is that if you can't do it? But how good does it feel once you start to learn and once you start to develop it? And putting from distance, like how good does it feel when you get those chains for the first time? And how good does it feel when you can get them relatively consistently? I'm not there yet, but like it's about release. And then how good is it to bring your family out and play with your family, or bring your friend out that's never played before, that is so tired of you talking about disc golf that they're only going out there to shut you up about it, and they like it. So I feel like disc golf is a lot of things to me, and it's relaxing mostly. It's an escape.
You guys are great at this.
Yeah.
Whew.
Teachers, man. You know how many interviews we have to do?
Dude,
Parent-teacher interview night?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I was thinking we probably should have did it on video and then made you guys raise your hand when we asked the questions.
Oh, shit.
No, I think you guys can hear it. Like, as I said, disc golf hits everybody. It hits them at a different time, and sometimes it's right. And I think that was something that was so connecting, is when you're part of a community and you see other people expressing the same things you feel. You know, like thinking about you driving down the road and you look at a field and you're like, oh, that'd be a great place to put a basket. Like, you have that thought, and then you go realize that everybody else has had that thought too. Like, there is something about disc golf that is universal once it hits you.
Yeah, there's some aspect of the game that is appealing to somebody.
Yeah.
I'm just really waiting for it to hit my wife.
It'll take time.
Yeah.
Slowly buy her bag.
Slowly but surely.
Oh, she has a bag and everything. The times where she really enjoys it is when there's just another female on the course with her.
fun.
No dicks allowed.
No, it's just that there's another girl to play along with her rather than me, who throws farther than her. So,
yep, no dicks allowed.
Throwing far is hard.
It really is.
Was there anything that you guys wanted to talk about that we missed in any of our questions?
Any more gopher talk?
Well, we could go for hours about that.
Another episode.
We haven't even started talking about ecosystems and growth in the community. So
space, sustainable housing. Like, there's so many topics we could get to. Oh, I think
Well, I guess we'll just have to have you guys back on.
That's true.
I'd love to, yeah.
Yeah, this has been great. You guys are nice to talk to as well. You know what? New friends after all.
Hey.
Here we go.
Yes.
Winner,
That's really what all we do this for is we just want friends.
This episode would never even see the light of day if we weren't friends now.
Right.
In the can.
So really quick, why don't you just drop where our audience can follow you and watch your journey?
So if you do look like you need some discs, www.wolfcatdisc.com. But the best place to find us is Instagram. That is, and it's Wolfcat Discs. Right on there. That's where we release pretty well everything. But you might see us on Reddit. You might see us in a forum chat group on Facebook. But Instagram is the place to find us. And reach out if you are interested. If you tell us if we made you laugh. Let us know if you want to connect, if you're interested in getting your own form shadow done. At this point, like I said, we just really want to make them for people who want them. So if you think it can help you or help to amplify your voice, social media is so important. We all know that in the disc golf world. And if that type of edit could help you, reach out.
And then did you say you have a subreddit for just form shadow, or is it just the form check?
Yeah, so there's a subreddit. It's r/form shadow, and there you will find some more mechanics versions, as I said, some more releases that we don't release elsewhere. And as we are starting to connect with more pros, we're hoping to perhaps get some different type of content from them to be able to put up there as well. But it was kind of a little bit of a test field to see who was interested. And last I saw, I think we're just approaching 400 people in it. So there's a group of people that are interested.
Yeah, holy shit, that's a lot of people.
I used to do a lot on Reddit, but I've kind of slowed down a lot, so I'll have to make sure I get on there and at least check it out.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been another, almost 200,000 people in the disc golf subreddit right now.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on so much. It was so much fun to chat with you. Obviously, our friendship is not going to end here.
Yeah, guys, gonna have you back on. Also, pretty interested in the shadow form stuff, so I'm definitely one of those people that, my form's not perfect, so.
No one's is.
I don't know about you, Eric.
No, my form's perfect. Don't. I'm just kidding.
Once we finish the Centaur draft, then send us a video and we'll make your form shadow for you.
Yeah, seriously, send us a video of you guys playing.
Centaur draft comes first.
Yeah. Priorities.
Can you make me into a Centaur draft?
Absolutely. Do you want the long nap?
I think we could actually do that. Actually,
for sure. Anything you need.
That has to happen now.
I'm taking notes right now.
I think we're gonna scare people away.
That'd be fun though. It's worth it. Guys, it was fucking amazing meeting you. Thank you for being our friends, and have you back on soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was a blast.
Thank you.